You're allowed to respond with a very short answer out of your turn.
I'll let Aramel
We're
do
not
it since
done
he's the
yet.
closest.
But yes.
Okay, he grabs what he dropped, which is some sort of long cylindrical tube with a bit of wood at the end.
Oh, god damn.
Puts it up against the
wands.
shoulder and points at the ghoul and fires. Hits. What's his dex? Okay. So there's a loud bang and a flash very close to a couple of your ears, especially Aramel, who's trying to bear down on him and gives a sort of ringing sound in your ears. And something goes and hits the ghoul in the shoulder, and the ghoul goes... Blood seeping down there, but it looks like whatever it was just winged him. Took a large chunk out of his shoulder, but it just winged him.
Okay.
Okay, that would make it Aramel.
Okay. So unless I'm misunderstanding the mechanics, then I am going. Okay. I'm just gonna. I hate breaking the fourth wall so much, but
Okay.
my staff, which I still carry, which I've equipped, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that, but obviously I would equip my new attuned staff. It says you can use an action to speak the staff's command word and throw the staff on the ground within 10 feet of you. That's an actual action. I can use healing word as a bonus action. So, I'm going to say a prayer, and I'm going to heal Scarlet with my bonus action, and then at the same time throw down the Staff of the Python onto the floor and turn it into a giant constrictor snake.
Which is size medium, is it?
No.
Is it size large?
Let me look it up real quick.
Okay.
It was a...
How far away is Scarlet from Aramel right now?
Like 10 feet. Not very far.
Okay.
It's a giant constrictor snake. It turns into a giant constrictor snake, which is a huge beast, unaligned, with more HP than my direwolf just had, by the way.
Huge. Is it huge?
It says huge beast, unaligned.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So you say a few healing words, and Scarlet's shoulder instantly begins to start closing up the wound. Roll for healing.
Would be a... Would be for 6.
Okay. So mostly it heals up. There's still some pretty deep cuts there, but they're no longer big gouges of flesh. They're just cuts. Kind of the leathers rent around them exposed, but, you know, you're not terribly off now.
Okay.
And then, you grab your staff, you say the word that's written down the side that has a lot of S's. And you just throw it. And as you throw it, this staff, end over end, begins to writhe. And then twists in midair, and then elongates and lengthens and widens. And how far do you throw it? Like 10 feet from you, roughly?
Within 10 feet, and I roll... It's according to the description, it says that I roll... And it acts on its own initiative.
Yeah.
Acts on its own initiative count.
So that puts
Which I
it
just rolled.
after Scarlet.
Yeah, I just rolled it, so.
Snake. Okay.
So within 10 feet.
Right, so 10 feet away, so basically right at the ghoul, effectively.
Sorry, say again?
Right at the ghoul, he's 10 feet away.
Just on the ground, within distance of between me and my party. Like more of a defensive throw than offensive.
Okay,
just
so
like I
you
just
sort
throw
of-
it down on the ground.
Chuck it in front of the ghoul, in between you, the ghoul and the rest of the party, and it goes... This gigantic snake, this is not large. Large is the size of a horse. This snake is huge. This makes it roughly the size of a giant.
Shai Halud has awoken!
If you stretched this snake out, it would be far longer than even the tallest tree around. As it is still probably a meter and a half diameter for its body. And it's just curled up, head raised. Tongue lashes out. The tongue is the length of the horse. It looks down at the ghoul. The ghoul looks up, and you've never really seen fear in an undead creature before. But this ghoul looks up, and it looks maybe slightly perturbed. This gigantic snake looks down at it. That would make it Wolfslayer's go.
Out of curiosity,
Wolfslayer
just from
is-
a mechanics point of view, are undead creatures actually capable of fear? I was under the impression that, like, mechanically speaking, that they were actually immune to the concept
Actually,
of fear.
they're immune to charm, exhaustion, and poison.
Oh, but
They're
not fear.
immune to
Oh,
fear.
okay. I'm probably getting my games mixed up then.
I thought in 5e they could not also be crit. I don't think there's no advantage rolls against them.
No, you can crit them. That's
You
an
can?
old version. You can crit them, yeah.
What about crit and advantage are the same thing or not?
No. You can get advantage. Crit is when you roll like a natural 20. Or for some classes it says you can do a 19 or something. You can get perks. But
Okay.
crit is where you get super damage. Right, so Wolfslayer looks at the snake and goes, when do I get to hit that? And runs up to the Ghoul and defends Scarlet, pushes Scarlet slightly to the side, and rages,
Okay.
and hits the Ghoul. Rolls a 1 for damage, brings the sword down, two-handed, big swing. 1 plus 1 for the sword, plus her strength, which I have in front of me, which is +3, that's 5. And the Ghoul dodges to the side at the last minute, and it clips the Ghoul's arm, cutting deep into its arm, but it's a very glancing blow. If it was any, harder, it would have taken the entire arm off. So the Ghoul takes 5 points of damage. Okay, that would make it... Malthus' turn.
Okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble visualizing where we are in relation to the nearest tree. If you could help me out with that.
Okay, you're about 45 feet away from the nearest tree because you're in the middle or deep into the little sort of cul-de-sac.
Okay.
You did go far into that.
I can move 30 feet and still take an action, or is that... Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah, you can.
Okay, well, I'm moving towards the tree line. I'll move my maximum distance whilst
Okay, you'll
readying
move
my
basically in
bow.
the direction that Squishy came towards you.
That's towards the Ghoul, is it not? I'm moving
the Ghoul
away
actually
from
came
the
a different direction from Squishy.
Oh, right, okay.
Squishy came running back, scared into the...
Well, I'm moving away from the Ghoul towards the nearest climbable object, but, I'll
Okay,
just move
you've got the
30.
edge of the sort of the cul-de-sac around you, which is a sort of rough stone, sort of 65-degree wall.
Okay.
But
Moving-
it's scramblable.
Back towards that, drawing my bow, I just shoot at the Ghoul.
Okay, sure. You back up against it, and you shoot the Ghoul.
Yeah.
Make an attack.
So it's just a regular attack for this one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10.
The arrow flies off over the Ghoul's head as the Ghoul sort of dodges out of the way of the two-handed blow from Wolfslayer. You don't get advantage against people in combat. You only get the bonus damage, don't you?
As
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, it's treated as a sneak attack if they're in combat.
A sneak attack being not a
Well,
surprise attack, but being a bonus damage attack.
Yeah, my bonus, effectively, yeah. As far
Yeah,
as
so
I'm
this
aware.
arrow goes, flies over the Ghoul's head. That will make it Scarlet.
Okay, I'm going to put my bow away and pull out my short swords and
You
attack
can
the
pull
Ghoul.
out one short sword. The other one will
One
have
short
to bonus
sword.
action. 'Cause
Okay,
you-
I'll pull out.
Basically, free action.
I'll pull out my main sword,
Okay, so you pull out one short sword.
and I'll hit the Ghoul with it.
Okay.
16 and 6 damage of hit.
Okay, so you hit it and you sort of cleave in roughly into its thigh as you sort of dodge to just try and alleviate any more damage that's coming into your back. Swing around and you cleave into its thigh, taking out a large chunk. Sort of a spray of black blood comes down. And that would make it Snake.
Okay, I get to control its action on its first move.
Yep.
I command it to kill. Kill that.
Okay.
That's basically my whole command. I don't need, it's mental. So anyway, it gets to do a, I can do one of two attacks. I'm gonna do constrict. I need to get within 5 feet of the creature. It's close enough to the creature. +6 to hit. So we will have it do that. Who rolled? What was that?
No one's rolled.
I just saw a roll after the fact. I don't know. It was because I tabbed in. I rolled a 10.
Okay, so the giant snake starts to try and wrap around the ghoul, but the ghoul, sort of seeing the snake and being very aware of it, moves to the side so that Scarlet's in between the snake, and the snake never really manages to get a good, like, a wrap around on the ghoul because it's basically using Scarlet as cover. Unfortunately, the snake doesn't manage to hit the ghoul.
A giant snake, massive snake, is using me, 3'1", as cover.
Well, it's got to be able to wrap around the ghoul, which means it needs to get all the way around, so the ghoul is just keeping near you and moving to the other side. It's got to be careful not to squish you. This is a gigantic snake. It is far, far bigger than you. If it tried, it would squish you.
Squishy you? Squish?
Oh,
Sorry.
dear. At which point, more ghouls. A ghoul runs up behind Squishy.
Scarlet's reaction was instant.
Swipes at Squishy, but Squishy, having been aware of this ghoul coming up behind him, sort of dodges at the last minute to the side with a spray of dust from the ground as turf is overturned and, earth is sprayed everywhere. Dodges to the side, sort of tracks of claw marks in the ground, and the ghoul overshoots. Another ghoul runs up next to its compatriot next to the snake, takes an attack at the snake. That is a 20. Snake takes 12 points of slashing damage as its claws rip into the side of this big lumbering snake, putting massive gouges in it, ripping through deep into this very thick layer of muscle.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
The snake also has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's BS. Right, Constitution saving throw. I roll for it because I am the snake. I'm the snake master. I roll a
Oh, that was close.
19.
That was close. You almost rolled a 3. Well done.
The snake shudders and then just continues to move as if nothing was wrong. Another runs out and runs at Wolfslayer. Hits. Claws coming down, doing 9 points of slashing damage. She is raging, that's half, that's 4 points of slashing damage. Claws trying to dig into her flesh, not finding very much purchase, and instead doing large cuts. Not really gashes, but deep cuts. She momentarily shudders and continues moving. Right, I need to note her health somewhere. There, will do. Okay. That makes it Squishy!
Yay!
Everybody's favorite badger.
Oh, he's not my favourite. He's just not my least favourite.
Okay, Scarlet, you can control Squishy since Aramel's controlling Snake.
Okay.
Snake!
Okay, so
Snake! Time paradox.
there's a ghoul by Squishy, so Squishy would attack that one. Okay, what do I roll for Squishy?
I'll look it up.
Well done, Aramil.
Okay, he's a giant badger. So what are you trying to do? He has a skill called Multi Attack. The badger makes 2 attacks, one with its bite, one with its claws.
Okay.
So your first attack then will be +3 to hit.
+3 to hit. Okay.
Mhm.
Five.
That was the bite.
That was
Yeah.
his bite attack, yeah.
Okay, so he bites and tries to bite the ghoul as he skids past it, but the ghoul overshoots and he just doesn't manage to find purchase with his teeth. But then he can make a slashing attack with his claws.
Claw attack is +3 to hit as well.
+3 to hit.
Tries to scrabble to, actually hit the ghoul, but the ghoul moving too fast, overshoots, turns around and manages to get behind him, and he can't really get round to slash at the ghoul
Poor
properly.
Squishy.
Okay.
Squishy's frightened, man.
The chances of rolling 2 2s back to back is 1 in 400. Am I not right?
He could have rolled a 3, though, and it would still be just as bad, so rolling 2
I
3s
know,
back
but-
to back.
But she actually rolled 2
Yeah.
2s. Okay, just
Pretty bad.
checking the math there.
I'm
It's okay.
talented.
Right, well, that makes it top of the round again. So your hobbit friend is going to act. He goes, oh, crap. Fuck, they're out early. It does something with the big tube. It gets something out of its pouch, puts something in, gets a rod out, and starts hammering away at the front. That makes it... I think that's Aramil.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
can I make a perception roll to have Melfast, just catching what this guy is doing with this rod?
Other than that, you would have to take like a bonus or an action to
No
actually
worries.
see. Right now, that's what you just gather from your side on view
Okay.
as you're concentrating, sort of passively perceiving. If
Okay.
you want to actively perceive, you'll need to watch him.
Alright.
But yeah, Aramil.
Okay, I have another mechanic-based question. And he walked away. He can still hear me, it sounds like, but he can't speak. So I'm going to keep talking.
Okay.
It says in the description of the staff of the python, on your turn, you can mentally command the snake if it is within 60 feet of you and you aren't incapacitated. If I turn into another animal, can I still communicate with my snake? Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as it's within 60 feet of me, I can always talk to it, basically. Okay.
I don't think you're
In that
actually
case-
using your voice for it, are you? It's more of a mental...
Yeah.
Right, it's a
Connection.
mental thing. Okay. In that case, I'm going to bonus action myself back into a direwolf. Big ass direwolf. And I'm gonna attack that ghoul. And because the snake is within range, I get my actual bonuses now. Because the
Okay,
snake
so
is
attack
too
the ghoul
nearby.
that's chopping into the side of the snake.
So
Yeah.
squishy, isn't he? And so Scarlet, for that matter. They're all pretty close to those ghouls, aren't they?
Scarlet's fighting the original ghoul, who's
All right.
very, very low in health. Wolfslayer has another ghoul, and Squishy has another ghoul. There are 4 ghouls in total. There are a lot of ghouls. I could draw a map, but it would just be... There's just 4 ghouls. They're all very close.
Okay. So I attack the one that's near the snake, though.
Okay.
Okay. I have pack tactics. I have advantage on an attack roll against a creature if it's within ally. So I can just get an advantage on the roll.
Mm-hmm.
And since I am now a dire wolf, I get +2. What I forget now. My attack roll is +5 to hit. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. There's just so many. I have to pay attention to so many damn creatures.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
it's a D20 with advantage with +5, which would be an 22.
Yeah, that definitely hit.
Okay.
This
And
guy
I
just comes bounding over, leaps over the snake as this ghoul is like clawing into it, and just catches the ghoul straight on the front of the face.
do this much damage, which would be a 9.
You rip off the side of its, like, sort of the side of its skull. It's not really the skull, it's the flesh on the side of its skull, as you grab its ear and the side of its face in your jaws, and you just rip it off. And I have to make a test or fall prone, don't I?
If the target is a creature, it must succeed on DC 13 Strength saving throw. So
Your
I'll give
weight
mechanic-
just completely slams into it, goes flying backwards, and is knocked prone as you land on it, ripping its face off with your jaws.
Out of curiosity, how is the toxin, poison, venom contracted from ghouls? Would having a ghoul's
do you
bloody
know?
face in its mouth affect Aramil's dire wolf form? And for that matter, anyone who gets its blood anywhere that's like an open wound.
What are you getting at? Not
I will rule, in this case, no.
Right. But for future reference,
Make a nature check. No, it's not a nature check. I guess it would be more arcana. You can make an arcana or religion check. It's up to you.
what do you mean?
So you're saying biting animals is bad? Biting animals is always good. What are you talking about?
I'm just wondering, for the sake of the future, how these sort of things happen. Because in terms of mechanics, is D&D more game-like? It's like, well, it's only on its attack that it afflicts this kind of condition.
I'm not going to say because I will bend the rules sometimes to make more sense than
Okay.
strictly the rules are. So I
Well,
can't tell you unless you figure
that's
out in
fine.
character.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
So you did 9 points of damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Shad's like, they have dirty fingernail hygiene. It's fine. That's it.
yeah,
They've
legit.
just got all this bacteria under their nails.
Okay. So that would make it Wolfslayer.
Right.
Okay. Wolfslayer goes furious now. Hits. takes a double-handed swing with her new shiny black steel sword.
Which one's Wolfslayer hitting? Like, where was she by?
She's hitting the one that attacked her and missed. The one that's next to you, but not the one that's
One
damaged,
next
because there's two next to you. You two are kind of fighting together.
Okay.
She rolled a 1 again for damage, so the ghoul ducks to the side as she just clips its foot, taking a chunk off the side of its ankle, but still not properly getting purchased with the two-handed sword. She's getting very frustrated now. Just stand still so I can hit you! Okay, and that would make it Malthas.
Okay. Right, so from my original position, I was about 45 feet away from the sort of, what was it, like a cliff surfacey sort of thing?
You were 45 feet away from the trees. You're now with your back
from the
basically
trees.
to the cliff. Yeah.
Right,
You've got back basically against the cliff. It's not really a cliff, it's more sort of a 65-degree sort of broken slope with
something I can climb
stones.
up, though, yeah?
Yeah, but it would take you an action to climb it. You wouldn't be able to climb it with, like, normal move.
That's fine. I'll try to use my acrobatics to get up the cliff.
Sure. Make an acrobatics check. If you 20 it, I'll let you do it as a bonus action.
Okay. I doubt that's going to happen, but something to aim for, I suppose.
I believe
A
in you.
2. Well, at least it wasn't a
believe
1.
you
It was
try and
not a 1.
acrobatically get up it. You very much take a short sprint, and then halfway up the slope realize you don't have enough momentum, and you scramble back down. It's sort of this sort of backwards pedal where you're trying not to fall backwards. You manage not to fall backwards,
Okay.
but you backwards pedal down. You're just at the bottom of the mountain again. You're like, they weren't looking. Okay. And unfortunately, unless you want to take a bonus action or whatever, you can take a bonus action to look at what this guy's doing if you want.
Sure. I'll do something with my turn.
Okay.
So it's just a regular
Perception roll, yeah.
perception roll. 19. That would have been
Okay.
good as the acrobatics check.
He took a small cotton pouch that looked like it had been tied at both ends and turned into like a cylinder.
Okay.
The way he held it, it looked like there was something flexible in the end, like cotton or powder or something that could be moved. And in one end, it seems like there's something solid and spherical. He put it then into the end of his barrel and on the thing, the pipe, and then took some sort of steel rod and started pushing it down like he wants it to get to the end of the pipe.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, my rolls are all over the place today. They're literally just seesawing back and forth.
It's the best way. It makes for the most entertainment.
It does.
Wait, that would make it Scarlet.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my second sword this time and and attack the ghoul by me that's near death with both. So
Okay.
main sword first.
Go for it.
19 and 9. And 6.
Okay, so with one sword, you just slice quickly and just decapitate it. Nearly entirely, not quite. The spine basically only just clipped by your sword, and you put a notch in its spine, but you don't manage to fully sever it. It's a pretty tough spine. But the head just sort of flops around about 45 degrees, flops backwards, and the body collapses.
Lovely, okay.
Second one is a hit. So you just spin round to hit the one that Wolfslayer is fighting behind you, and you carve into the side of its rib cage, sword going up its rib cage, exiting somewhere near its sternum, putting a massive cut in it. Black blood starts to flow down. You just do this whirling dervish of death. You manage to turn around about 60 degrees and hit one, decapitate it, and hit the other.
Nice.
That was 5 damage to the second one. Okay. And that one is dead. Right, that makes it Snake. Snake, it's a snake.
Snakes on this plane. The plane of field grass. Anyway, it attacks the near school.
Okay, the ghoul that you've got pinned.
By all means, absolutely. Let's get that guy. Sure.
Okay. You're using Constrict?
Hold on, I gotta look it up again. Snake, it's a constrictor. That's useful because actually there's only a couple of them. Giant constrictor. Okay, +6 to hit. Got it. And
You get advantage because it's pinned currently. And pro.
okay, so advantage with 6. That's a pretty good advantage, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Be a 19.
Right, so thankfully, thanks to the direwolf pinning it down, ripping some of its like flesh on its side of its face away, The constrictor snake very easily just starts sneaking around it, and as the ghoul tries to rise, it just tightens around its body and starts to crush. So how much damage does that do?
That does this, which would be 2d6 plus 4, which is 9 damage.
Okay,
No, wait.
so you can hear the sound of cracking
Nope.
ribs and...
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the character sheet. That was bite. The constrictor's
what's your
2d8. It's 2d8 plus 4 bludgeoning, and if the target is grappled, and the target is grappled.
2d8.
2d8 plus 4. What do I do? to fix it?
Reroll. Different dice type.
R. Commands. R. 2d8 plus 4. That would be actually 14.
So the snakes around it. Pretty good term. And as the dial backs off a few steps, the ghoul bends at the pelvis to try and get up, puts its hand on the ground, and instantly the snake contracts around it. Arm pinned in, ribs start to get crushed, and just sort of being nearby, the dial just sees this ghoul right in front of him. Torso gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually there's a... And then there's a splash of blood and bits of rib as the ghoul just goes limp.
Squished?
Dead. Very
Popped.
squished.
Very squished. And it's grappled, right?
The dead body is grappled, if you so want.
Good. I don't understand. It's the mechanics that I'm asking about, really. Like, I like the idea of it, but also it says, like, and the target is grappled escape DC 16. What does that mean?
Anytime they want to get out, they have to make an athletics or an acrobatics test of 16 or more.
And if they fail, then the grapple
stay
continues. And
Grapple
grapples
means that
what?
they have disadvantage on attacks, I think disadvantage on saving throws, and any attacks against them have advantage.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, like,
So-
if a human was to grapple another human, it would be the whole, I'm holding your arm behind your back and you can't really do anything. Like, you can try and get out, but you're not going to be very, effective while you're doing it.
So the dead ghoul is grappled. Good. Glad to hear it.
If you so want. That would make it...
Should be
G.
squishy.
No, it's me before Squishy. Two ghouls. One of them is currently in combat with Wolfslayer, and one of them is combat with Squishy. The one in combat with Squishy hits.
Wait a minute. No. No.
I'm watching this closely.
Incredibly low. Claws coming down, rakes along the side of Squishy, but Squishy sort of just dodges out of the way, both of them being very careful about their positioning, and it does 6 points of slashing damage, and Squishy must make a Constitution saving throw.
That's still only just under half of his full health.
Yeah, and I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay, so would that just be D20 for him? Like, what's his constitution? I should really look this up.
Yeah. Do you need a D&D monster guide? I can link it to you.
Yes,
I've
please.
got all. Well, it's a PDF. I can share it with you. That's what I've been using to look up my animals
Yeah,
and stuff.
send it during the break, because the break's only
Yeah,
like 20 minutes
yeah.
away. But
Oh,
for now,
okay.
what's the Constitution on the Giant Badger?
1 second. Look up. Badger, comma, space, giant is what it actually is. Excuse me. Get it right. You gotta do it in the right order. Constitution is +2 on a giant
What's
badger.
the... Oh, okay.
Does it have proficiency saving throws? Oh,
It says it has keen smell. That's all.
no.
And
Okay.
it doesn't have proficiency.
Squishy dodges to the side, gets raked by his claws. Very glad that Squishy, didn't take the full brunt of it. Very glad that, he only got slightly cut. Blood starts to flow down his side, and he turns around and goes...
Okay.
Squishy's now paralyzed.
No!
Wow.
The one against Wolfslayer
That's bad.
rakes at Wolfslayer, but Wolfslayer expertly parries it two-handed with the greatsword. The end of its talons sort of causing sparks against it. That would make it Squishy.
Who is
Roll a
paralyzed?
Constitution saving throw.
It's paralyzed.
13.
Squishy shudders and gets back up. That's the end of Squishy's go.
Oh, very nice. Got out of it. Well done.
The halfling fiddles with the whatever he's got, raises it to his shoulder, aims it at the ghoul that's currently in combat with Wolfslayer, and bang! There's a loud flash and bang sound as something streaks out the end. Misses the ghoul, goes over the ghoul's shoulder, slams into Wolfslayer.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh, that's bad. That is especially bad right now.
Rolling a 1 for damage.
That is good. But that halfling's not coming out of this.
Something hot, metallic, hits her full in the chest. Her resistance manages to hold it together. And as you can see, there is a small hole that you can see the edge of bone through, but it hasn't penetrated. It's literally been stopped by her ribcage, whatever it was. And she glares over at the halfling.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. You're on your own here.
Well, unfortunately for
That
you,
makes it...
I'm fairly certain that she'll pretty much at this point be obliged to stop fighting the ghoul to try and kill the hobbit, which means there's going to be two ghouls right next to you. So it actually works out pretty badly for Scarlet, too.
Remember, you're up.
My
Okay,
goodness, that could have gone
I'm just
better.
having a hard time tracking. We've got so many like spawned units right now. So
Okay,
you're saying
next
the
to you,
friendly
about 2 feet away, you have a ghoul that's in combat with Wolfslayer and Scarlet. About 12 feet away, you've got a ghoul that's in combat with Squishy.
and there was also the
There
friendly
were 4
hobbit,
ghouls,
not
wasn't
so friendly, the hobbit that I scared the shit out of. That's leaking out of her pants apparently. She just got shot? Is that right?
No.
No,
Who got shot?
Wolfslayer did.
Wolfslayer.
Wolfslayer.
Accidentally.
She doesn't matter. She'll be fine.
The hobbit
I don't
came-
worry about her much. Okay. In that case, because I care about Squishy, can I? Well, I'm an animal right now. Can I speak? Can I actually do good word, healing word while I'm in shape, wild shape?
You need to speak.
Why
out.
not?
Cast
I can.
spells.
I should be able to mumble some. I growl at
Don't-
it.
You can growl, you still cannot produce human sounds, and you also specifically cannot cast spells.
Fine. Okay. In that case, who's rolling? Wait. Every time I open up the thing, it rolls the dice, and it makes me think that someone's rolling.
No,
Anyway,
it's-
I
it's
attack the
just-
ghoul.
You're literally right next to the ghoul in combat with Scarlet and Wolfslayer. Like, you are within 2 feet of it. You can't combat range.
I go to bite its head off
Okay.
and
Make an attack
squish
roll.
it. Squish its head.
You have advantage, it's in combat with, like, everyone right now.
Just to clarify,
And
weren't
I
there
have,
4 ghouls initially? Only one has been killed.
Show's been
One
killed.
was killed by Miss Carcinell. and one
Oh,
was killed
that's
by
right. Of
Jasper.
course, you decapitated one. I do apologize. Yeah, I remember now.
By the way, I've got this, this 195 unit list of all of the different beasts in the game, and someone in Twitch chat has just taught me how to make bookmarks for commonly used units. It's so amazing. I can actually just click like wolf, /dire. Like,
Okay,
so good.
before you get carried over the macros and the bookmarks,
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to attack with a +5 to hit, basically,
That everyone
with
knows.
advantage. So there's my attack roll. It is
That's definitely a hit.
an 18, and my actual damage is 2d6 + 3. So I actually have to type this out like a plebeian. 2d6 + 3. Wait, I have an advantage. I have pack tactics though. Don't I get a bonus damage roll?
no.
Oh, that's the advantage. I don't get bonus dice? Damn.
No.
All right, fine. I do 7
However,
damage.
you go over, you grab its head as it's not really paying attention to you, kind of concentrating on Wolfslayer and Scarlet. You just grab its head between your teeth, and you twist and pull away, and there's a pop and a shredding of flesh, and the vertebrae just pop out behind it, and you now have a head in your jaws. The rest of the ghoul body sort of wavers, a little bit of spurt of blood, and then collapses. Melthas? Oh no, Wolfslayer!
Yeah.
Wolfslayer's not in combat anymore. Wolfslayer runs
Good God.
over to the Hobbit.
Oh dear. Which is
Oh
well within-
god.
We did. This is why me and Scarlet were like, oh no, this is bad.
Oh, that's better. 13 points of damage. Wolfslayer brings the sword down two-handed. cutting massively deeply into his shoulder and down his chest. Massive wound. Blood starts to flow out. He's somewhat surprised. His eyes just go wide as he sees this Goliath running over this half elf who thinks she's a Goliath running over to him with a two-handed weapon. That would make it Malthus.
Do you know how much damage was done?
She did 13 points of damage.
Yeah. Which is impressive that the halfling's still alive. There's one more ghoul now, yeah?
Yeah, in combat squishy.
Okay. Clearly surprised at Wolfslayer deciding to turn around and just attack the halfling, but not particularly disposed to protecting the halfling. I just fire at the ghoul.
Okay.
Uh, 12.
That is, in fact, a hit.
Oh. Okay. So, could you just cover the whole, if someone's engaged sneak attack thing again for me, just to make sure I've got the mechanics.
You get your sneak attack bonus whenever you get an advantage roll, or when an enemy is engaged with another enemy, with an ally.
All right, so that's
who
fine.
Is
then.
conscious and stuff.
A couple of people mentioned something in my chat that made me want to just definitely clarify that I was using the rolls right. And that
I would have to check if you get advantage when he's in combat
plus
with a friend, but I don't
3
think you do.
will be 8.
Okay, so you pull your bow back, you aim at this one who is attacking Squishy, and just as it's about to bring another claw up to go into Squishy, who is lying there, somewhat frayed, blood coming down its side, you take it full in the side of the chest, the arrowhead just coming out from the other side, and it looks at you and just folds slowly onto the ground.
Yay, I hit the heart.
Does anyone want to do anything about Wolfslayer and this hobbit?
How quickly could we react? Because realistically, we're still in combat because she's still in combat.
Okay, well, we'll go through the combat rounds then. I just wondering if anyone wanted to react.
I do, but I've only just taken a turn, so...
Scarlet?
Okay, can I use Cure Wounds on Squishy?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, which I really need to make a macro for this. Which I will...
Efficiency.
Macros are good.
We're all afraid of Rumba. We don't actually give a damn about macros, but Rumba bitches and moans afterwards. Oh my lord.
I accidentally chose like the class that requires the most macroing and like research behind the scenes of all classes. Like I have to look up every freaking beast in the game.
Okay, so what is it I add for that? E.
Your spell power, which is wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I have. Okay.
I'm turning into an expert, an armchair expert.
8.
He only suffered 6 points of damage, so his wounds fully heal up. There's still blood on his side, on his fur. You can see, especially on the top of the white streaks, it's very red, whereas the black is just a sort of a dark brownish color now. But his wounds close up, and the blood stops dripping onto the ground. That would make it Snake.
I'm a direwolf right now, and I'm huge, like the size of a horse. So I just whisper, like in my mind, I'm thinking towards the snake. Snake kill. Basically.
Today I learned that Aramil's head voice changes based on his shape.
Okay, so you tell the snake to kill. So the snake would assume it means to kill an enemy, not an ally. The only person it could possibly perceive nearby as being an enemy would be that hobbit, since one of your allies is attacking the hobbit. So the snake goes over to the hobbit, and if you can roll for constrict.
I forgot that we had already killed all the bad guys, didn't I?
I was wondering what you were telling it to kill, but I was kind
of... At least you had a hobbit around, otherwise it'd be attacking all of you.
Shit. Wait, that was my actual action, right? No, wait, no, this is the snake's turn. Shit. Okay, shit.
Today, Arumba learned he really needs to pick his words carefully when talking to his staff snake.
Alright, so apparently it's constricting roll. It's +6. Can I roll like a -6?
No, the snake is trying its best. You told it to.
Shit.
However,
14.
The hobbit, sort of bleeding dodges to the side, rolls, and gets up, still holding this pipe weapon. The snake missing it. Very large snake, easily dwarfing anyone nearby.
Hobbits
that
are
would make
wily
it-
little creatures, though.
Squishy.
Okay.
Squishy's not sure what's going on there. Squishy does not want to go anywhere near the giant snake. Squishy is going to be like, and just going to back towards Scarlet, who just healed Squishy, and Squishy's going to hide behind Scarlet, which is not easily achieved considering it's a medium creature and Scarlet is small. So actually, Scarlet is like 3 foot tall, and behind her is this like 4 foot something giant badger who's trying to look tiny.
Sup, Squishy?
That's the Hobbit's go. The Hobbit is going to drop the pipe, pull out.
Stop pulling out that. You have got an addiction, my friend.
And hits, doing 1, really? 2 points of damage after resistance to Wolf Slayer. Something goes bang, there's a large flash, and the snake rears its head, and something pings into the front of Wolf Slayer and flies off into the distance. You're not sure what happened, really, but Wolf Slayer ignores it. That would make it a Rumba.
Okay. Gathering my faculties and not telling the snake to kill things that it shouldn't, I'm going to, let's see, I can't recall. Can I bonus action out of Wild Shape?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. Well, hold on. I got to check the description real quick. I'm sorry for doing this so much.
Have the snake grapple Wolf Slayer. I think
Okay.
really hard.
I'm going to shapeshift. I'm wild shaped out of my Wolf Slayer, my wolf form.
Your
not
Wolf Slayer form.
Wolf Slayer form would be so sick, but no, I can't do that. Also, I need to notate that I've done 2 wild shapes today, so I can't do it again. Okay, so I've used my bonus action to turn back into a humanoid, and then I'm going to cast Entangle, and since it's an area of effect ability, concentration ability, I'm going to cast it on both the snake, the hobbit, and on Wolf Slayer.
Wolf Slayer. Okay, it doesn't do any damage, does it?
It does not. It is a grapple thing.
Okay.
It says restrained, conditioned, and is resisted with strength saves. Combined AoE debuff, battlefield control.
Does it
And
say
so
what
I
the DC is, or is it the DC just your spell casting?
I believe the DC is, well, I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't actually say. Well,
In which case, it
on
would be
this
your
page,
spell save DC.
spell save DC.
Let me
Do I
just pull up the
roll?
spell here. What's it called? Entangle?
Yeah.
It's called. It is called Entangle. Yes.
Entangle. Because I now have an app.
Ooh, an app. I like apps.
Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square from a point within range. For the duration, the plants turn the ground into difficult terrain. Any creature in the area you cast must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Okay. So, muttering some words and gesturing, you point at the direction of the current malarkey, and vines and other bits of flora just appear from the ground and start wrapping around the combatants. What's your spell save DC?
I don't know.
8 plus proficiency plus whatever the modifier is for the casting ability.
Okay, so 8 plus proficiency, which is
Okay.
my just.
Yeah.
So plus 2, and then whatever my modifier is for spell casting, spell attack bonus.
Yeah.
5. So 15.
5 for spell attack.
My
That
spell attack
must-
bonus is 5.
That includes your proficiency bonus.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, so that's 13 in total then instead.
Okay.
Because it already includes proficiency, you only count proficiency
Yeah.
points.
Like when I do
So-
healing, it's plus 5, which I think
Yeah,
includes the
that includes proficiency,
Yeah.
yeah. So Wolf
Okay.
Slayer is going to try and resist. She rolled a 2. Wolfslayer is now effectively grappled. The snake, can you roll for the snake?
Okay, yep. It is
The halfling
strength
crit
saving throw?
fails. Yes. The halfling is grabbed by a vine around the ankle, tries to move forwards to run, and it falls flat on his face, so he's now prone, grappled. Snake is not restrained.
Snake rolls 17.
Snake is so not restrained right now. Also, it doesn't seem to care about the size of the creature. Wow.
Those must
normally
be...
these things care. Like, it's like any larger, smaller. Huge doesn't normally... Okay.
But before it can act, I get to tell it what to do. So.
Okay. You have free action. You can tell it what to do.
Yeah. Don't kill. So
I so
fact,
wish
if
you'd actually...
We're effectively out of combat, so I'm gonna tell it to not be a snake anymore. Turn it back into a staff.
I so wish you'd
so you
looked up the
must
whole
word
stuff from
against-
Harry Potter and had memorized what he actually says to the snake not to kill whoever it was. I can't even remember the character. That would have been fantastic.
It's a bunch of hisses.
Actually, like,
Speaking
spoke
Parcel
parcel
So
tongue
this
not to
giant
attack.
snake,
So
1.5 meter diameter, massively long, coiled around the current combat goes... turns into effectively like a 1.5 meter, 2 meter staff and goes pink to the ground. Squishy. Squishy's gonna stay where Squishy is.
Just a quick question about the staff. I know that if the snake dies, the staff breaks. But when it turns back into a staff, does all accumulated damage undo, or does the staff need to be repaired? Oh, that's pretty cool.
But you can only turn it into a snake once per long rest, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Stop you going. It's damaged. It's not
No,
done.
that's not what I've read. I've read that in 5e, if the staff, if like the snake dies, the staff is forever just destroyed.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
There is no like fixing it. There's no 3-day rest. There's no 1-day rest. It's just done.
No. But if it's not destroyed and you pull it back into a staff, you have to wait until the end of a long rest before you can do it again and turn it back into a snake.
Right.
Oh,
I think it's every long rest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise, you could just literally turn it back into a staff the moment it took a damage. Turn it back into a snake this next turn. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, considering it has like 3 times all of our HP, it's a big tank.
Yeah.
It's a snake.
The halfling grappled to the ground. Get me out of here! She crazy! Just gets more and more entangled in the vines and the plants.
Okay, rushing over towards the because we're out of combat now. Arumba mentioned. Is that right?
I'm still going through the turn order.
Oh, okay, that's cool then.
Meltas, did you want to do something?
I was going to say that I was going to rush over and, I mean, the first thing I wanted, just a passive perception. How badly hurt is he? I'm not trying to deeply investigate.
Pretty deeply wounded. There's a massive cut down, like his shoulder and into his chest. Blood coming out. Definitely a deep wound.
Okay.
He's not, incapacitated by any means.
Right. Well, with my bow still there, though, relaxed. I'm not looking like I'm about to harm anyone, but kind of just rushing up to stand nearby, but not in amongst all of the nettles and brambles. It's like, what's there? What on earth are you doing? We need to talk to him. We can kill him afterwards, but don't kill him
where
first.
you're currently standing.
Oh, okay, then I totally don't move.
Yeah, because basically you're cut off by this area.
Right. I'm just shouting.
Actually, the server's been interrupted.
Yes, I just saw that as well.
I'll refresh.
Same here. I'm reading core rule books. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. Well, it's back online now. I've just refreshed the page. So, you say that. Okay. Wolfslayer. Arms taut, muscles standing out. Every single bit of her flesh obviously has some form of muscle that's currently tensing. And the vines snap and snake off of her. She moves forwards towards the halfling.
Oh, yeah.
Sword raised. That would make it Scarlet.
At this point, I'm really hesitant to make a move because I still want to talk to this halfling, if possible, and get information out of him. So I am just going... I'm going to keep my swords out, but I'm going to just keep watch.
Okay. Melthass, did you want to do anything again? No, we've just come effectively around to your turn because I actually didn't miss you last time. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm trying to persuade her basically to calm down. And
I will let you make the persuade roll to get through to her.
Okay. So that's with 5. Almost a good roll.
He's going to try and get out again. Vines, plants snap over his arms. He then gets up. He moves about 7 feet backwards, but he can't get any further back because of the difficult terrain, trying to move through all of these vines that have just snaked up, and there's now like a foot tall vines and plants and brambles all snaked around in this area. Aramil?
So I'm still concentrating on this spell, right? I've already cast it. There's no casting it again.
No.
Is that correct? Okay. In that case,
you can drop the spell and you can cast it again if you've got another spell slot, but I think you're out of spell slots.
No, I have one left.
You've one left. Okay, you can drop it and cast it again.
I will heal the Hobbit. But I can't roll because Role4It is just hatching dragons. That's what it says.
Okay. I can roll 4 if you want. I have access to the roll.
1d4 plus 5.
1d4 plus 5. 1d4 plus 5. 7 points. Okay.
Just over half of the damage he took, I think, wasn't it?
His wound starts to close up. Blood's still flowing, but nowhere near as readily. Wolfslayer charges towards him, sort of big strides to try and make sure she's not bound down by the thick brambles and vines around her legs.
Now, is it every turn that she has to make this saving throw since I'm concentrating, or is it?
She doesn't get rebound, as far as I can tell. She gets bound the first time around, and she has to break it, and then she can walk as she wants. But she's at half movement because it's difficult terrain. But she only gets grappled on the first turn if she's there. No one gets grappled afterwards. She takes a two-handed swing at the Hobbit. The Hobbit dives to the side, and large chunks of vines and flora just split into the air as the sword goes carving through the undergrowth. Melthass, Scarlet, Aramil, I'm going to let you just all act as one to try and stop this if you want to.
Yep, I'm going to try and talk her down again.
Yeah, try and persuade her.
Okay.
Are we going to just roll as a group for persuade?
Aramil, do you want to roll persuade of the group, or do you want to do something else?
I feel like a group persuade roll is not going to be as good as like my own individual persuade roll, which is plus 5.
Mine is plus 5 as well.
You're effectively, I'm actually asking you to all make individuals how I'm counting it, so don't worry.
Oh, right, okay. Well, in that case,
then yeah, I'll help. I still can't reload Role4It, by the way. The roll app.
I got 18.
I tried.
Okay. What's your
I got 16.
on that 5?
I'm plus 5, yep.
Oh, full sash, d20 plus 5. Okay, you will talk to her. The hunter quickly reloads the thing in his hand. She takes a swing at him.
Oh dear.
Hits.
Oh dear.
Only clips him slightly, doing 6 points of damage, cutting deeply into the side of his arm. Ugh. He changes the hand that he's got the boomstick held in. You can all make persuade rolls again.
Okay.
/ roll. I can't roll.
Okay,
I hate
I'll
this
roll for
website.
You got 14.
That was awfully fast.
I got a
sure?
10.
Yeah.
I got 8.
Okay. The guy points the thing at her, point blank, and fires.
You're not helping your case here, dude.
It explodes in his hand.
Oh wow. Okay.
That probably helps your case a little.
Might have taken his hand off actually,
Yeah.
considering how low he is on hit points.
Okay. He takes 8 points of piercing damage as it explodes, bits of metal flying into him, and he's knocked backwards slightly.
Are the
Wolfslayer
vines still up at the moment?
Swings. Yeah, all they're doing is preventing movement. Only when they first cast do they grapple. After that, they count as difficult terrain.
Okay.
Wolf Slayer takes another two-handed swing, hits him. Very, very crappy rolls for damage, unfortunately, as Wolf Slayer. This is not normal Wolf Slayer rolls. Just as he backs away, the end of the blade cuts into his stomach, doing a deep gash. Not deep enough to really get into the abdominal cavity, but putting a massive gash down him, which starts to bleed furiously. You want to try and persuade her again?
At this point, Malphite's like, in the name of the gods, Aramil, just get rid of these vines so we can get involved.
Aramil, do you want to drop the vines?
Yes, I do. I also want to stop recalculating splines. Damn it.
No, you want to just control F5 it again. Like, it's loading 5 for us. I think it's obviously...
I logged out, logged back in. I've reloaded 10 times now.
Oh.
Piece of shit.
Pretty bad for you.
Pissed me off.
Maybe their US server's down. Might be worth checking their Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, you drop the vines.
Okay.
Scarlet Melfas.
At this point, she's just in a bloodlust for the Hobbit.
She's frothing at the mouth.
The half. Frothing at the mouth. Okay, well... I'm trying to think of what I could do, but I mean, Malphas is literally absolutely no contest for her in strength. There's no chance he'd be able to grapple her. So I'll just go for another.
Be able to stop her.
I'm gonna have Malphas run up and try to position himself between the two, whilst trying to talk her down. So have another persuade roll. Is that possible? I hope I get a 20 because she just carries on barreling through. She's literally going to kill Malphas. So that's persuasion plus 5. One of these has got to work eventually. Not that one though. God damn it.
Okay, Scarlet.
Okay. That's persuasion plus 1.
Okay.
For 8.
Would you make a strength check, Malphas, as she tries to shoulder you out the way?
How do I make a strength test?
It would be an athletics, actually. So it would be a d20 plus your strength bonus, plus if you've got proficiency in athletics, it would be the proficiency.
Right, so an 8 is -1.
Yeah.
7.
You
do that
just
passively.
Fly like 5 feet to the side, trying to keep your footing, as she shoulders you away. Kind of bigger form, and she's just seems to be pumped up on rage right now. She swings down at the guy. And she hits him. Rolls a 12 for damage.
Okay.
She just brings the sword down two-handed as the guy just looks up, trying to pull up the sword that he's got at his side because he's dropped all of his other weapons now. He brings it up to parry. She brings the sword down, just two-handed. His sword just splinters. It's not meant to parry a magical two-handed weapon. The sword splinters, bit of steel goes flying off in one direction. Straight into the top of his skull, straight down and out through the pelvis, down the bottom. The halfling is now a quarterling as both sides flop to the ground. Bits of organs just sort of flop in the middle, and blood just pools around him.
Well.
And that is the end of that combat. And also where we're going to take a break.
Yes.
So, join us after the break to find out what just happened there, all the loot, and all the dead bodies.
Yes. And also whether Arumba is going to be able to fix his Roll20.